Alright, welcome to Promises to Keep. This is a game I just found on itch.io by Promises to Keep VN, and it looks pretty good. And this is actually my second time recording this because I just felt like re-recording it. You know, I just felt like it wasn't up to par to what I would like to, what I know I could do for this. And so right now we're gonna just restart and reread this. This is actually a really cool game. I don't want to give any spoilers, but here we go. Please enter your name. All right, of course. Yes, we will. My name's Brandon. Thank you very much. I think it's really cringy and like I hate reading my name out loud, but we're going to do it. All right, here we go. We're sorry to inform you that due to a severe weather conditions, your upcoming flight has been canceled. Please log into our app or website to reschedule. Bad word. I just laid down, fur still wet from the shower, luggage packed and ready to go. I was bracing myself for a short night of sleep, but now it looks like I have no flight to wake up to tomorrow. I stare at the cancellation message, slightly willing it to change into something else. It doesn't, of course. I pull myself off the creaking mattress, reaching blindly for my suitcase I place next to my bed. I unzip and fish out my pillow and an extra blanket. I wrap it haphazardly around myself and stuff the pillow under my head, not even bothering to make a bed properly. My phone buzzes again. An email from the airline bringing another reminder of the cancellation. Yep, no escaping it now. I'm not going anywhere. Look at this loser. Oh, that's how I feel every time my phone does that too. I was really looking forward to leaving. After a prolonged minute of staring into nothing, I begrudgingly open my flight app. The bright colors of the loading screen beam down on me. I roll over onto my side and watch the wind beating down that thin sheet of glass, keeping the blizzard at bay. What am I doing? There's literally no point in trying to reschedule now. A snowstorm like this will put the entire city out of commission for a while. I take one last look at my phone. Low battery mode, 3% power. I know the feeling. I flop my arm around the other side of the bed once again, pawing around for the charging cable. The phone buzzes lightly as I plug it in and I flip over to stare once again at the window. Sleep finds me faster than I expect. At least in my dreams I'm somewhere else. Somewhere else. Didn't you want to leave here? Didn't you promise all those years ago to all those people that you'd return? Now that you're here, you can't even wait to leave? Face it. You've returned, but you're not really living here. You're just wanting to die. I shiver a little. Something feels off. I poke my head out of tightly wrapped nest of blankets. My blurry eyes take a few moments to adjust, the bright lights peeking through the curtains. What time is it? I reach for my phone on the nightstand, sleepingly sweeping my paw around on my desk until I find it. I groan. I guess now it's on the floor. I begrudgingly roll to the edge of the bed, still somewhat protected by my covers, fishing for my phone off the ground. I tap the screen to check the time. Nothing. I could have sworn I plugged it in. I get up, still swaddled in my blankets, and I stumble over to the window. I open the curtains and... oh my goodness. I had known the storm was going to be serious, but standing here at my frost-covered window, I'm greeted by a huge looming mountains, piles of snow. It's been ages since I've seen anything like this. Adjusting my cocoon of blankets, I reach out a paw and place it gently against the glass, feeling the chill sweep into my paws. The view through my window was comforting in a way. It reminded me of my childhood mornings, the unparalleled excitement of a snow day and the cozy security of a warm house in cold weather. I shiver again. A warm house. I look down at my still dead phone, then back up at the snow-encrusted window. My brain feels fuzzy and slow, unable to fully comprehend my situation. Wait. I turn and sweep into the living room, and my blankets trailing behind me. I walk up to the thermostat on the wall. You've got to be kidding me. I can see my reflection staring back at me in the temperature control, and the interface is still blank, devoid of life. Suddenly it strikes me just how cold I am, how cold everything is, from the air brushing my face to the floor beneath my footpaws. The power must have gone out at some point during the night, and with it, of course, the heat. For a few long moments, I stand there completely still in the corner of my living room, attempting to process this turn of events. I trudge over my fridge and open it out of instinct, but I'm quickly reminded that I cleaned it out last night. Probably for the best. This thing's useless without the power. A little Nintendo Switch there in the coffee. Defeated, I slowly walk to my chilled, easy chair and sit unsure of what to do. Without a clear way of getting out of this mess, all I can do is daydream. I wonder if he's still here, enduring the storm like everyone else. Who am I kidding? I've been stuck back here a whole year and no sign of him. Not that I've actively scoured the city for him. I've just been so busy. Work has been so busy. Life has just got in the way. I'm jolted out of my thoughts by the doorbell. Startled, first standing on end a little, I crane my neck trying to see the visitor through the frost-caked window. Then that fells, I finally uncurl myself from the chair and I step out quietly towards the door, peeking through the peephole. I can see nothing, just a white haze, must be covered with the snow. I jump up as the knock sounds once again, right next to my head. Hello, anyone in there? My name's Theodore, and I live down the street. I'm just checking to make sure you're okay. Theodore? Yes, I remember running into him once or twice on the way to work, an Arctic fox, about 10-ish years older than me. I reach out with a paw to open the door, then realize I'm still swaddled in blankets. I frantically shed my sheets and scramble about for a coat, cruising as I knock it to the... I frantically shed my sheets and scramble about for a coat, cursing as I knock it on the floor. When I'm finally ready, I cautiously open the door, and then the wind hits me like a truck. My fur fluffs up and I curl into my jacket, shivering. I expected my thick snow leopard pelt to keep me safe from the wind, but clearly I was wrong. The bundled up Arctic fox stands in the doorway, paws outstretched to knock again. Oh, hello there. Sorry for the surprise visit, Brandon, right? I nod dumbingly, too cold to give him a proper reply. He looks up and down at me, concern plain on his face. I'm checking up on my neighbors. I understand a lot of people lost power last night, and... He stops mid-sentence and takes a tentative step forward. Do you mind if I come in, then we can shut the door? You look like you're freezing. I take a guilty look behind me at the state of my living room. It's a little messy, but okay. I step backward and shut the door behind him. Thank you, Brandon. Some weather we're having, right? He gives me something between a grimace and a smile, clearly trying to lighten the mood as I shiver next to the door. He looks at me up and down again. I nod once more, pulling my coat tighter around myself. I miss my blanket cocoon. How can I help you? Well, I'm just hoping we can... I'm just hoping I can be the one to help you. His eyes scan the room, landing on the dead thermostat and the piles of blankets on the floor. I wince initially, thinking about the mess this place is. It's looking like this whole side of the street lost power. As I understand, it's the snowstorm knocked over a tree, which in turn uprooted an electric pole. Oh. My ears droop. That's pretty serious. He locks eyes with mine, then his voice is gentle. Yes, I'm sorry. It looks like most of the neighborhood will be out of power for the next few days at least. A few days? Panic starts to bloom in my chest. I'm already freezing my ass off, and it's the only thing going to get cold. Panic starts to bloom in my chest. Panic starts to bloom in my chest. I was already freezing my ass off, and now it's only gonna get colder. Theodore seems to notice my alarm and gently reaches out to place a paw on my shoulder. I feel a warmth throughout my shirt, seemingly the only source of heat in this whole house. Brandon, please don't worry. I would be happy to house you until your power comes back on. That's why I'm here. His voice draws me back to the present, and I look up at him. I still have electricity and extra room for you. With heating, of course. I'm actually housing a few other people as well, neighbors from this side of the street. You are more than welcome to join us however long you need. The gears start turning in my head. Before this, Theodore and I seldom spoke, and now he's offering to house me? I didn't even have any reasons to be skeptical, but I know this might sound like it's coming out of nowhere, but we haven't had a winter like this in quite a while. Neighbors should look after one another in times like this, right? A group of random people at another person's house, someone I didn't really know, and the crowd we've got is pretty friendly, I promise. His tone is warm, inviting, and absolutely genuine. I take one more look at the dead thermostat and stares right back at me vacantly. Well, it seems to say, what other choice do I have? I take the deep breath and regain my voice. Okay, sure, if you don't mind, I'd love to stay at your place, at least until my power's back on. Theodore beams at me and clearly is pleased. Glad to hear it. Why don't you gather some of your stuff and bring it over, and let me know if you need a hand. No, I've got it covered. Just give me a second. I walk briskly to my room, heart pounding. I enter my room and grab my luggage I had carefully packed yesterday. Screw it, it was so much colder than I realized. Trembling slightly, I take one more quick look around, slipping my headphones and charger into my pocket. I knew it was set on leaving this room and this house behind today, but I didn't expect it to happen like this. I exhale sharply, reminding myself to breathe. I've never been to Theodore's place, to be honest, but I barely spoken before this encounter, and I'm not sure if I know which house is his. I begin to worry in earnest now, twisting the handle of the luggage between my frozen paws. I wasn't even supposed to be here. I was supposed to be on a flight going far away. Hey, come on, Brandon. We don't got time to mope or panic. I chastise myself lightly, reminding once again to breathe. How is it so easy to forget? I look down and realize I'm still wearing last night's clothes. I should probably change real quick, especially if I'm going to be meeting new people. Oh no. Just keep moving, that's all you have to do. I take one more deep breath and realize I have the handle of my bag. Just be normal. Theodore looks up from his phone as I return to the living room, glancing at my full luggage. All packed? Anything you need me to carry? No, I think I've got everything I'll need. And it's just down the street, I can always come back. Fair enough. Ready to go then? I give the place one final look around. It looks back at me, cold and painfully familiar. Yeah, I think I am. Well, I'd suggest a warmer coat, and you'll definitely need some snow boots. Huh? Mind still fuzzy from the weather, I pause and look down at my clothes, then back up at Theodore. Look, I've been walking around in it all day, and that wind is plain nasty, and the shallowest snowdrifts are thigh-high at least. I know we're both got some serious winter padding, but the storm is something else. Oh, of course, snow boots. I shake my head violently and clear my brain fog, but all that gives me is a headache. Right, sorry, let's just... Theodore flashes a warm smile. Take your time. I putter around the messy room, collecting the thickest coat and the sturdiest boots. My paws twitch slightly at how cold they are. It felt like everything in the house froze overnight, including my brain, I guess. Quickly zip up my coat and button over the zipper, then begin struggling with the boots. There we go, that's more like it. I try to give him a smile back, ready to go, promise this time. You know, this reminds me, because like I've had two frost storms like this where I live, right? Because for some reason we live like in an area where it's just like we have mountains all around us, and we're like, and there's like a bowl. There's a bowl of mountains, and we're in the middle. It will snow all around. It'll snow all around, but it will not snow in the middle of the bowl because the mountains block the clouds. But occasionally we do have a snowstorm like this, and the last one, I think I did a YouTube short on it. I decided to walk in it, and it was like ice this thick, and it was just, I would just stand still, and I'd be sliding down the flat sidewalk because it was all ice. And I had some pretty bad falls. I was recording most of it, and I recorded one of my falls, which it wasn't like I was aiming at my face, I was aiming the other way, and I slipped, and I went straight back flat like this. Hit like the back of my head, and like it pulled on my neck, and my neck was like bad for a couple days. Oh, it was nasty. And then yeah, and had a couple other deadly falls on the way up. Almost killed myself walking around. And the cool part is when you're walking in this, except my place is different. This looks like it's LA or something. You can see the city in the distance and all these trees on the side, and it's kind of like a flat area with not very many trees. Where we live, it's in Oregon, right? Big, massive trees. So as I'm walking, there's just tree fall after tree fall, and these trees are like probably like 100 feet tall. Like, we got some massive trees here. And as I'm walking, I'm just like, sometimes I look up at the trees if I'm walking underneath one, like, this isn't my day, is it? And you just hear the creaking, and like you'd hear trees fall out in the distance in the forest, and it was really cool. And I had to be careful because there was a few trees that fell near me in branches, and there was some places where I walked past it because it took me like an hour to get like 10 feet because of how slippery it was. I'd walk past a tree, And then on the way back home, that tree was falling over right where I was walking. And I'm like, okay, well, that looks like I missed that by a bit. And then there's this one area that goes up to my house, and it's this big. There's 2 ways up, but once you go down, like on the other end, I'd have to go all the way clear across town to do it the easy way. But I already went through the easy way to come over to here, and it's a super steep hill that goes up and over, and it's all frozen over. So I cannot physically walk up. Cars can't even drive up it. You can't walk up it. And I was trying. I kicked some of my boot into the ground, broke some of the ice, got a step right there, and I was on a spot where there's like 2 roads and it's all like together, right? In some weird way. I don't know how to describe it. And then about 5 feet in front of me, if I make the jump, I'm good. That's what I'm thinking. If I make the jump and hit the grass should be fine somewhat. If I miss the jump, I slide clear out into the middle of the road in traffic, and there's no way I get out of it. And I was just like, I stood there for hours. I kept trying a little step after step. If I slip and fall, I'd go into it. And I was just like, at the very end, I was like, you know what? We're going back the other way. And so like after an hour of trying to fight that, I was just like, you know what? Even if the people in this house that lives here, even if they came out and asked me if I need help, what are they gonna do? If they try to walk down to me, they're gonna slide out on the road too. So these little snowstorms are just so cool. They're so nice. Like, it's always exciting. And when I see this, it just makes me think of all those times that's happened. There was also another time where it's part of the Oregon Trail where it's just this road and there's trees on both sides. Usually, like, there's no trees in the way, but they were all slanted down like this. All of them slanted over this little teeny like tunnel valley you could walk through. And I actually had to crawl down, like military crawl, to get underneath all these bending trees, which in hindsight, I was like 14 at the time. Probably not a smart idea because they're probably just an inch from breaking and keeping you smothered in the snow. But I crawled through there and you could see like some deer in the side as they're just nesting up. Occasionally I've seen a wolf actually walk around through there. And yeah, it's just when these massive snowstorms or even ice storms, this looks like it's a blizzard, it's not an ice storm, and I've had ice storms. It just makes me think about all those memories. It's really nice. I hope it snows that much this year. But anyways, before we continue this game, I think this is a good stopping point for episode 1. I'm going to continue playing this game, however, but I think I'm going to stop it here. This will be part 1. We will be doing part 2 and potentially part 3. We're going to be playing this whole game of what it is. It's currently in development. It's by Promises to Keep VN, and the game is called Promises to Keep. It's on itch.io currently. I don't know if it's on anything else. If you go to itch.io, you can support this creator, this developer, and I recommend you do, because you know what? So far, this has pleasant music, and it's nice. It's clean. I mean, there is some curse words in it. And I don't say those words, but yeah. Anyways, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's hope it snows this year. It's gonna be exciting.